So Google has announced big changes and Yahoo as well, and this is coming in place from February 2024. Now, what this means is they're basically cranking up the level of protection against spammers and things like that. Now, because of these new changes, it's also going to mean that even good emails will have a trouble to get into inboxes, especially Google and Yahoo, unless you do a couple of things that they want to see. You now need to have a branded domain. You now need to have a proper DMARC policy on your DNS, and brand consistency is really important. You need to be pretending to be sending from, as like from Gmail, and a couple of other things. So if you're doing email marketing, you definitely need to get this sorted out ASAP because this is coming in place from February. And if you're not up to scratch with this, it means you will not be able to not only get your marketing emails delivered to inboxes, but you could also totally ruin your domain reputation. So let me just go through a couple of things here on this article. The number one thing with this change is the branded sending domain. So what does mean? What does it mean? Is when you send an email, you might have your regular business domain like yourdomain.com that you use for your main like transactional emails from your inbox. Like say if you have a Google Workspace, you have your email account there, and that's the account that you send from. But then you also have a software that you use to be able to send out bulk emails like newsletters. And typically, what you want to do is you want to have a subdomain, right, like a mailbox or marketing or whatever subdomain, but it needs to be subdomain off of your main domain, the same domain like here. That way, it becomes congruent. So as you can see here, this is a good example. It's email was sent from no reply at yourdomain.com, and it was actually mailed by a subdomain, but the main domain matches, right? So if there isn't a match, that's what's going to be a problem going forward with you being able to send emails or get your emails delivered. So what you need to do is you really need to make sure that you check what your actually sending domain is, and make sure that it's based off your main domain, like a subdomain. Hopefully that makes sense. Now, the next one is a DMARC policy. You definitely need a DMARC policy at the bare minimum, like a policy with no actual policy, but needs to still be a record on your DNS. Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble, right? SPF and DKIM records, usually you should have those. If you're, for example, have your domain hosted with, if you have your domain pointed to your Google Workspace account, then typically Google Workspace will provide you with these details, and then you just put them on your DNS, against your domain. So typically SPF and DKIM will always be provided, but the DMARC isn't, so you need to add it in. Actually, DKIM isn't provided by default either, so there's a bit of an extra step that you need to do in your Google Workspace account, for example. I'm mentioning Google Workspace because that's the one that I recommend. It's been generally the best, unless you use like Outlook, but these are really good providers. So this article is really important to read upon. I'm going to include the link here in the comments. But there's other things that's not enough, right? There's other things that Google and Yahoo will want to see now. So we've covered the brand consistency, but you also need to have easy to unsubscribe button, right? So right now, most email marketing newsletters have a button, right, that says unsubscribe. But when you click it, the clicking actually doesn't unsubscribe you. What unsubscribes you is when you actually fill the form on the page that it takes you to. Now, what Google and Yahoo will want going forward is that when people click that link, that's a true unsubscribe. So it really needs to be one click unsubscribe going forward. So that's what you need to implement right away. If you use, the CRM like high level, then you need to make sure that you either use the new default setup that's provided, but if you have more fancy funnel like a process, then you need to incorporate that and update your automation and triggers, things like that. But it needs to be one click, okay? And then obviously, aside from all that, you need to make sure that you keep your spam rate below 0.3% now. So that just means that you're not sending out bullshit emails to people that wouldn't like the content wouldn't be relevant to. If you're doing cold email, you definitely need to like make sure that the messaging, the the offer is respectful and on point. But yeah, this is something that's to do with what you put in the emails. Everything else is a technical setup. That's an easy stuff. You do that once, and that's you can rely on that. But that's not a bulletproof, right? So you still need to make sure that you send emails properly, and what you put in emails matters a big time, right? So it comes down to who you're sending to and what you're sending to them, right? Now, quick tip here: what you can do with emails now already is you can check if you're compliant. So there's a website. I'm going to put a link in the comment. It's provided by Google. It's called Google Admin Toolbox Message Header, right? So this is the website, and what you want to do is you want to go into your inbox, and here is an example of an email. That's actually my system automated email, and I'm just testing. I just want to check that I've got everything up to scratch. DKIM, SPF, and DMARC, right? So what you do is you click on the three dots here. It says more. You scroll down and you click on Show Original. It's going to take you to this page here where you've got actual like the HTML code of the whole email breakdown, but also your header. What you want to do here is you want to click this button that says Copy to Clipboard. Copy that, and then you're going to go into that Google Admin Toolbox message header. You drop that in there, and then you click on Analyze the header above. Now, what's that done for me? It has analyzed the email, and it's saying that my SPF is passed, so that's good. That's passed. My DKIM record has passed as well, and the DMARC record has passed as well. Right. So it's been sent from. If I go back to the original message, it was sent from this email address, and it was. If I actually go all the way down to the email here, you can see that it was sent from the subdomain. The sending mail was actually the same one. But even if it wasn't, the subdomain reply dot, even if it was just vitmuller.com, it would still be a pass, because it'd be consistent with the domain brand, right? So I can check here, and I know that I'm already ahead. And for February, I'm good. Like I've got the SPF, I've got a DKIM, and I've got the DMARC record all pass. Now all I need to do in my example is I need to make sure that I have one-click unsubscribe link in my emails now. So I just need to do a little tweak, and then B, just make sure that I'm not spamming anybody, which I don't anyway. So there you go. Hopefully that helps. If you need help with this for your agency, let me know. I can offer you a 1-hour consulting call, which you just book on my website. There's a fee. You just book that call, and I'm pretty sure that in an hour we can smash through everything and get you up to speed.